Welcome to Belgium, guys. Today we're gonna take you on a Belgian food tour here in Brussels, and we're gonna show you the top 10 dishes you need to try when you come here to Belgium.
We're gonna show you some of the ultimate Belgian classics, and if you watch all the way until the end of this video, we're going to be eating the best chocolate dessert in all of the country and perhaps even the world.
We're gonna start off with the most popular food here in Belgium, Belgian fries. And when you think of fries, you might think of places like McDonald's, but to us Belgians that would be blasphemy. We don't go to McDonald's, we go to the local friterie, the fry shack, and they have the best fries here in the whole world. Here we have the Belgian fries. They've been fried twice until they are golden brown, very crispy, and the best way to eat it is with a sauce. You have a dozen sauces to choose from, sometimes even more, but the most popular one is this one. It is mayonnaise. They get fried just a few seconds before they give them to you, so they're like really hot, really crispy, very fresh and not soggy at all. That is really important.
And there are a bunch of assorted fried meat snacks you can have to go with it. One of our absolute favorites is a frikandel special, which is basically a fried sausage that they slice open. They fill it up with mayonnaise, ketchup, and a few of these freshly diced onions. I know this looks like we went overboard, but I swear other people in Belgium have this too. Oh yeah. It's just really this sort of stuff and we miss whenever we go abroad.
This is Brussels' most famous restaurant street. It's called the Rue de Boucher. It used to be really good, but it has become very touristy in the last few years, so you really need to know which restaurant to pick. Fortunately, we know just the place.
Here they serve classical Belgian cuisine. It's really a very traditional looking restaurant.
Merci.
Merci beaucoup.
These are mussels, of course, with some French fries as a side dish because we are
Belgian fries.
Belgian fries. Because we are Belgians, of course, and we like to eat fries with pretty much anything. The mussels are prepared in this big pot. They're just boiled for a few minutes, and when they're ready, when they're boiled, they open up. Take them out by hand. Take your fork. Perfection. And you can have them plain, but there's also many different types of sauces or condiments you can add. I took the one with white wine, so they add some white wine, a little bit of garlic even. Once you get to about halfway your pot of mussels, you should look down here, dig in a little bit like this, and you get to the gold. This is the mussel broth, the sauce that comes with it. It comes out of the mussels mixed together with the white wine that they put in here. This is actually one of my favorite parts of eating mussels. Oh. One of the best ones I had actually. If you really want to look Belgian, you've got to do two things. One, take this half of a mussel, put it here, and then you can use this to eat the broth. And number two, drink some beer with it. This is called white beer. It perfectly accompanies the mussels. They go really well together. We actually have a beer for pretty much any dish we have, so if you order mussels, have this one.
And this is eel in the green. This is a super typical fish dish for the northern part of Belgium, for the Flemish part where we are from. In Dutch we call this paling in tune, eel in the green. It has this incredible green color in the sauce. This is basically a fresh herb sauce. This is actually my first ever time trying this. Now typically when my dad watches these videos and I say this is the first time I ever did this, I've never done this before, a lot of times dad will comment down below, of course you've done this before, Kim. So as far as I can remember, beyond the age of 5, this is the first time trying it. Ooh, it's really very herby, and it has this really strong, probably eel flavor. It's like fishy, but not a type of fish that I've ever had before. We're gonna give the eel a try. Really strong fish flavor, a really particular taste that eel. And to go with it, we have some mashed potato. By far, the most popular Belgian sweet snack is this. the waffle. We have several kinds of waffles. We have Brussels waffles that we tried in a different video of Belgium that we did last year, which are more very light, very crispy. And these are the Liège waffles, une gaufre de Liège. It is more of a heavier type of dough. Is so good. This is a traditional way that we have it here in Belgium. We're pretty civilized people, but mostly we just eat it like this, just the dough. The tourists, on the other hand, they have the version with like loads of fruit, loads of whipped cream, sometimes even sauces like chocolate and caramel sauce. Normally we don't do that, but since today, we thought some of you might be interested in that as well. And by some of you, I mean myself included. We have also a Liège gaufre with some dark chocolate sauce, some whipped cream and some strawberries. Here goes the most decadent taste of waffle I have ever had. I thought it was just whipped cream.
Yeah, covered in chocolate.
It's pretty good, but slightly over the top. Just
Shame.
Don't do this. Just be normal.
We're now heading towards more food, more delicious Belgian food, but we're now crossing the Grand Place here, the beautiful central square in Brussels. It is the most beautiful square in all of Brussels, some say even all of the world. I don't know, I'm pretty biased because we are from Belgium. There's a bunch of different ways to have chocolate in Belgium. One of them is these really cool crafted tools. They're made out of chocolate, I think. Oh yeah. You can have pralines, you can have chocolate bars, you can have chocolate truffles even. You can have pretty much everything chocolate, but the best chocolate dessert is what we're gonna have at the end of this video. I'm really looking forward to it. This is a very famous local dessert as well. It's called a cuberdon or a neuzeke. It's a Dutch word for nose. It's made in Ghent, actually originates in Ghent, but they sell it pretty much everywhere in Belgium. It's made out of sugar, starch and Arabic gum, and it's put in this cone shape and then baked in an oven for a few hours. Let's have a taste. It's really good. You can really tell this is still a fresh one because the outer layer is crystallized, a little bit tender, and on the inside you've got this gooey syrup. It's very sweet but very tasty. It has a little bit of a raspberry taste. And I really like it. A lot of Belgian people like doing it. If you come here, you should definitely try it.
So before we continue with the next 4 dishes of this food tour, we are going to do one of the things that we highly recommend you do when you come to Belgium.
My favorite thing to do in Brussels when you spend some time here walking around from restaurant to restaurant or just visiting places is having a nice Belgian beer. We have the best beers in the world, I can honestly say that.
We actually have over 1,000 different beers in Belgium.
And here are 2 of our favorites. This is my favorite Belgian beer. It's called Funambule. This is a Trappist. These are beers that are brewed by monks inside a monastery. We're actually sitting just 10 or 20 meters from where Monnik Piss is. This is Brussels' most famous statue, most famous inhabitant, just around the corner here. If you visit there, you should definitely come here. It's called the Poechennellekelder. It's a famous beer cafe and they have more than 100 different beers here.
When you spend the full day walking from restaurant to restaurant, like in this case for this food tour, this is the perfect break.
Oh yeah.
So now we've come to this restaurant where we actually used to come all the time when we still lived in Brussels. We are at the Skievelat and I am having a filet américain, which is ground up raw beef. It's this right here. There's a bunch of seasonings in there. There's some capers in there. There's some diced onion and then mayonnaise and mustard to bind it all together. This might look weird to a lot of people, but it's actually super typical in Belgium and it was invented here in Brussels. This one has quite a bit of mustard. Ooh, that's really good. And it usually comes with this side salad with a bit of dressing on there and of course, some Belgian fries. This is the typical way to have it.
These are boulettes or meatballs. It's like the very typical Belgian dish. It's what people eat at home. It comes with this sauce that is made out of goose. It's a local Brussels beer actually. If you want to try some homemade Belgian food, definitely come here and try it because this is so good.
We're gonna do the final 2 dishes tomorrow for us, which for you will be in about 10 seconds. See you in the morning.
For our next dish, we're going to have a very typical Belgian stew. We're at a really special restaurant actually. It's called Taverne Ter Linden. This place is run by one of our friends, Francis. If you've seen our previous videos, he's in there. This restaurant actually employs people who come from a vulnerable background. They provide them with training and coaching so that after a few years of working here, they have more options in the job market, which is actually really nice. Almost all of their products are locally sourced. For example, this is cola, locally sourced cola, just a few kilometers down the road. But of course, we're here for the food. This is called vol au vent, or in Dutch, koninginnenhapje. It's a chicken stew with mushrooms in it, some meatballs, and the quintessential part is a millefeuille, this crunchy cookie that you eat with it. Some sauce. Cheers. It's nice and gooey and creamy.
The chicken is super tender, but then this, the millefeuille, gives it a little bit of crispiness. Perfect. I've missed this so much. But what we're really here for is the best chocolate dessert in the country. If there is one thing you have to try when you come to Belgium, it is Belgian chocolate. And there are myriad ways to try it. You can just buy it at a shop, at a specialty shop. You can buy these cutesy little decorated pralines that are just these little sweet gems. Or you can have our favorite Belgian dessert, which is moelleux au chocolat. This is basically a dark chocolate cake with molten chocolate on the inside. Typically in Belgium, it is served with some ice cream on the side. A moelleux is made of dark chocolate, flour, sugar, butter, and eggs. And they mix it all up into this chocolate dough, and then they bake it in the oven for about 12 minutes. Now, it's actually not easy to find a moelleux that is done just right, because it's very important that the center stays really gooey, whereas the outside has to become slightly crispy. Look at that. Look at that chocolate gooiness. The molten hot chocolate is running right out of the center. I love dessert. Look at this. In the next video, we're going to take you to the most beautiful place in all of Belgium. But in the meantime, we will put our Italian food tour here and something else for you to watch right here, so you can go and watch that next. And we will see you in the next video. Bye bye!